Would you like to know what my favorite thing about Cutie Remark is? It's the way that it combined many of the recurring themes that we've seen throughout this season. Through Starlight, we can see the true power our choices and perspective can have. Ultimately, what she went through with Sunburst was not too much different from Discord's predicament during Make New Friends But Keep Discord, or Tanks for the Memories, and had very similar consequences. By failing to be happy for her friend's achievement, by failing to be supportive of what he needed to do, and by failing to grow with him, she grew jealous and couldn't move on. By failing to recognize her jealousy or the part that it played in this outcome, like what we saw in What About Discord, she correlated the outcome with cutie marks and grew vindictive. Starlight victimized herself and thus set out to create a society where others won't experience the same pain. It's a noble concept, but when motivations like this are born from contempt instead of understanding, then the actions that follow this line of thinking can only serve to bring others down. As we discussed during the Cutie map, philosophies such as Starlight's focus on controlling and limiting others for the sake of avoiding conflict, causing stagnation and dysfunction which will inevitably cause its own type of conflict, and leave those who are subject to it with no way of defending themselves. Even worse is that when people like Starlight are challenged, they often close their minds, and with no way to alleviate the anger that they have for others, they inevitably become even more vengeful and destructive, thus losing all resemblance of former benevolently intentioned goals. The only way to prevent or solve this is through introspection. Though people usually believe themselves to be on the right path, this simply isn't always true. We might be toxic to those that we love and selfishly holding them back from fulfilling themselves. This is why we must practice seeing where the roots of our problems lay and find the ones which lead back to us. We must also remember the main attraction, where we saw that those that we love are at their best while they're being themselves, and be happy for them for it. Then, we can accept the differences and learn from the pain in our past instead of allowing it to cripple us from having a future. Otherwise, we'll become that which we hate, and create that same pain we've experienced for others. On the other side of the coin, there's Twilight, who demonstrates how to make the right choices in handling the challenges of the present. Twilight understood that she couldn't sit back and allow Starlight to take advantage of others. She knew that she had to keep trying to stop Starlight even when it seemed impossible, and she also knew how to be compassionate. Then, when the time came, she knew that she couldn't and shouldn't try to control Starlight, but instead reached out to her. She remembered that while force and punishment is instinctual, it's ultimately detrimental when used outside of the context of a last resort. Fighting people like Starlight with overt force will only encourage their vengeful mentality and actions, as it reinforces their perception of the pain that being yourself can cause. They believe that they are doing the right thing, or are trying to validate themselves, and either don't understand or don't believe in the idea of a right and wrong methodology. We can't always stop people from acting this way, but like Twilight, we can attempt to appeal to their better nature by showing them the consequences of their actions on themselves and those around them. Thus, instead of creating more pain, you might heal the pain with love, and by showing them that there's a better way to attain their fulfillment. Just like what we saw here, as well as in Crusaders of the Lost Mark and the Hooffields and McCults. Like with Starlight, this may take a few tries, and unfortunately some people will refuse to accept peace and turn themselves into the characters like the show's unrepentant villains. The answer to this is to keep fighting, just like Twilight did. As I've said before, strength is a choice and persistence is victory. Through this, we hold the potential to prevent harm coming to others that would be victimized, and the instigators will continue to be punished for their actions until they realize that their selfish ambitions is a self-inflicted suffering that only they can stop. When that happens, people like Starlight need to be given a chance to learn real friendship in order for them to improve. Remember, harboring hatred towards those who have harmed you will only cause you to become like them. Furthermore, these things simply can't be done alone, and failing to be supportive when they desire to improve will only rekindle their hatred and start the cycle anew. It will not be easy for most people. Forgiving someone and then demonstrating that forgiveness through trust and support takes an incredible amount of strength. But strength lays in the choice to foster improvement by doing what is difficult until it becomes easy, and then continuing to do it still. We've seen it in this episode, many others, my own memoir on the mountaintop, my asking you all to help my friend Buck Wild, or anything that's happened or is happening to you. People need friendship in order to prevent and solve these types of problems. When friendship fails, regardless of whether or not it's self-inflicted or beyond your control, it can easily become a path of destruction. Those affected reflect that pain elsewhere in the world, and the results become widespread. You can't control others. You can't always control what happens to you. But you can always control how you respond to it, how you work through it together, and learn from the experience. Forgive, trust, and overcome your fear of the unknown future. If Twilight and Starlight can set themselves on this path, then I'm certain we can all do the same. And everywhere you go, friendship there will grow. And that's the moral of the story. If you have anything you would like to hear discussed or reviewed, you can drop suggestions by following Brawny on Tumblr or sending an email to bronydebates@gmail.com. Be sure to check out Irish John's channel for some funny short films, as well as Okizuma's channel for a variety of great videos, and thank them for their support. Feel free to check out my Patreon to see how you can support my channel and what you'll get in return. Big thanks to all of those supporting me already. Have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.